question was inspired by today's guest, who himself goes under a different name, and it's time to find out what. He's a man of many talents, having made a career in comedy and becoming a dancing king after winning Strictly back in 2020. And there's no signs he's throwing away his dancing shoes anytime soon with his brand new campaign. Please welcome Bill Bailey.
High five. High five. Hey.
So go on then, what's your real name?
Oh. Well, it's quite direct, this show.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, my first name is Mark.
Oh.
And the reason for that is that's what I was christened. So it's not the most exciting story. The end. There we go. No.
Why did Bill Bailey?
Bill Bailey, it came from my geography teacher at school, because there's an old song called Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey? And it was written just after, just about the turn of the century, the 1900s. And this became a kind of standard of jazz bands, you know, throughout the country and the world. And so Bill Bailey, Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey, was this song. And so he said, when I was in the class, he said, oh, Bailey, oh, well, Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey? And everyone just went, what? What are you talking about? But it stuck. And I've just ended up with Bill. So it's one of those things.
And now even your family call you Bill, right?
Well, but, yeah, they do. But luckily, that's handy, isn't it? But my parents never really got on board with it. My mum, particularly, she didn't like Bill as a name, because Mark was my name. So when people would phone up, girlfriends, you know, would phone up and ask for Bill, she'd say, there's no Bill here, and put the phone down.
I'd do the same, I reckon.
Especially
It's not what she called you, is it?
No. Well, that's right. And Bill is a sort of, you know, it's a nickname. So she did. And my dad, bless him, he still calls me Mark when we talk, you know, when we're having conversations. But he gets, you know, he says Bill, otherwise people don't know who he's talking about.
Do you feel more like a Bill or Mark?
I'm more of a Bill, really, I think.
Talking about parents, because I don't know if you just heard us chatting about, you know, whether or not you credit your parents with some of your success. Do you? Were they very supportive of you?
They were very supportive, yes, because they both worked in the NHS their whole lives. My mum was a nurse and my dad was a doctor, was a GP, and so I think they thought perhaps I might follow in their footsteps and take on a medical career. But I didn't show any affinity for that. I showed much more, you know, affinity for the arts, for music and...
But you dropped out of uni, didn't you?
I did, yes.
So that must have been quite a big deal for them.
They were a little bit concerned. I think they were more concerned about, like you were saying, you know, any parent worries about their kid and how they're going to, you know, make a living and support themselves. And I think they were a bit concerned about that. And then, you know, but they were still very supportive over those years. And I remember when they first came to see one of my shows, and my mum was just suddenly... She said... I remember she said to me, because she would sit there with my dad, and she goes, oh, look at all these people. They're coming to see you. There's no one else on.
Coming to see Mark.
Just me.
Coming to see our Mark.
Come to see our Mark, yeah, exactly.
We Are Undefeatable, the campaign you're here to talk about today. Tell us about that.
That's right. Well, as you say, the campaign's called We Are Undefeatable, and it's called Freedom to Move. And it's basically a campaign to... It's aimed at people living with long-term health conditions and trying to encourage them, to support them and get them to be active. And that's really what it's about. And it's part of a campaign by Sport England, and it's really to sort of encourage people generally to be more active, but specifically people who've got some condition which maybe means that they have good days, bad days, days when they don't feel like, you know, doing anything or being active. And these are just simple ways for people to be active around the home. Because part of this campaign came about, and in the course of the campaign, they found that, you know, during the research, that a lot of people, well, you know, more people now are not going out as a result of cost of living crisis. So, you know, the gym membership, I mean, it costs money, you know, and some people are cutting back on that. And this is very much a way of... This is where this campaign comes in, because it says, look, you know, around the house, a part of your daily routine, you can still be active. You can still find creative ways to be active. Like, even in the kitchen, we did a bit of a fun video where we're using, you know, tins of beans, tins of fruit. You use them as weights. You know, and, like, course. Why not? And, you know, in the bedroom, a bit of doing the duvet or a bit of hoovering. Or,
Down girl.
What's going to come out there?
well, obviously, I mean, there's, you know, there's other things you can do there. But...
And are you still dancing?
Still dancing, yeah. Non-stop dancing. No,
that's something you can do in the home, definitely as well.
Absolutely, exactly. You know, put some sounds on, a few tunes. You know, turn a bit.
And do you still do the Strictly moves, or are you just like generally dancing?
I just like generally dancing, but those moves. Well, you know, Judy will tell you this.
Gosh.
Those steps. Once they're in, they'll never leave.
Sometimes I just find myself going.
Yeah.
Just like that, just like...
you know, there's one, right?
Oh!
OK, I'm going to get up now.
I'm
getting up now. But, like, you know when you have to do the... Should I... OK, all right, OK. Come on, Mark. Should I stay on this perilous...
No, health and safety.
Or can I step down to this?
Coming with you,
Right. Oh, hold on. Come on. There you go. So, now the thing was, you know, when... Oh, right, OK, we're doing a little shimmy. All right.
Teach me...
No, well, you know... Oh, OK, here we go. All right. Oh, I don't know what's happening. No, OK, here we go. So we'll do this one, right? When you go up like this.
OK.
Yeah, that's it.
Let me go.
All right. Oh, we're doing this now. You know what?
I mean, they told me to come in and ask some questions.
Yeah.
Well, you can
Still got it.
certainly still move. But
Still got it.
Strictly experience was a bit of an odd one, wasn't it? Because it was COVID.
It was.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very strange time for everyone. And, you know, I mean, we were just in this kind of bubble. I mean, in a sorry, it's a bit of a pun, but we were in a COVID bubble, but also in an actual bubble, really, because we didn't go out after training. You know, you spent 12 hours training, and then we would go back to home, and that was it. And then we're back to training the next day. And after the dance, after the big show on a Saturday night, there was no carousing. There was no...
Like my team last year, we did a couple of years, we did a lot. But you had your amazing partner, OT.
Yes.
You still in contact with her?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my gosh, and it said that you suggested baby name?
Well, that's right, because, you know, when she said she was having a baby, I said, well, look, I mean, here's a couple of names for you. Bill, for a boy. Obviously, and Bailey if it's a girl. Oh, right? You know, it makes perfect sense, right? Bailey's a good name, right?
Yeah.
It's a cool name.
It makes perfect sense. And your boy, he's 20 now, right?
He's nearly 20, yeah, 19, yes.
Is he showing any propensity to comedy?
Do you know what? He loves playing his guitar, and he's got a very good sense of humour. I suppose he's grown up around comics, you know. It's like, you know, it's like yourself, you know, you're surrounded by...
Sink or swim.
Comics, and, you know, kids pick up on that. They pick up on the rhythm of turning... Well, I remember when he was a kid, when he was at junior school, he was going into school one day, and he said... And he told me this joke. He goes, Dad, he goes, I'm late for my exaggeration class, right? Which already I like as a setup. And I said, how late? And he goes, about 1,000,000 years, right? And I thought, well, I said, I'm having that.
I think we're going to be seeing him on the stage very soon as well. Bill Bailey, everybody, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much.